Hello everyone and welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at this Swiss Tech Stahlern. Walmart's carrying survival knives now, I guess, so we're going to dive into it and see how it does. So, like I said, Walmart last year, I believe last summer, started carrying a whole new line of Swiss Tech fixed blades. So I was interested in this one in particular. This is their Stahlern 4.5-inch blade, micarta handles, full tang. Comes in right about the $40 price point, so I'm curious to see how it does. I'll do a little bit of cordage cutting to start off with. See if it's the right knife for you. Cuts through that, no issue. Let's see if we can't do a double loop. No issues whatsoever. Got some hemp rope around somewhere. Right here. See how it does. A little bit of pressure needed, but overall, not too terrible. I looked online and on the box. I had a hard time finding what kind of grinds on this guy, but my best guess is probably some type of like a high saber. If I've got that wrong, might be a hollow grind too, not too sure. If I've got that wrong, please do correct me in the comments. But yeah, let's do some wood chopping and then I'll give you guys some honest thoughts. We are going to make a quick spear point, so let's get after it. See how she does. You do have a little bit of jimping right there in the rear of the blade. Some honeysuckle, very soft wood, and I'm not running into any issues so far. I do apologize about that. We had like a 4-mile train or something just drive past. I had to wait for it to quiet down a little bit. I am noticing it's not wanting to bite in there super well like a Scandi would. I mean, it's taking material off, as you can see. It's just not as much as you get off with like that a Fleesa D2, which is in the same price range as this. And I'm having to put a lot of force and effort just for it to cut off just a little bit of that material. Is it doable? For sure. I just don't think this is the best grind. I think it would do way better with the Scandi. But as you can see, I mean, it's cutting that off. Let's see if we can do some of the finer junk. It wants to, it's just, it does not like to bite. I don't think that secondary edges, like the geometry on that isn't very conducive for making feather sticks and whatnot. Could also be this piece of wood I'm working with, but you know, who knows? Either way, though, it will get the job done. It's just going to take a little bit more effort. It's going to require a little bit more effort than you would with, say, a Mora or a Scandi grind fixed blade. But yeah, let's do some chopping. I'm curious to see how that does. Then we'll run over, see how the sheath does, and then do final thoughts and competitive. Okie dokie. So we do have a lanyard loop on there. So what we're going to do, just see how it does chopping through that. Not too terribly bad, and I'm kind of resting it on the bird beak back here, which is not causing any terrible hot spots. I mean, if you have any amount of callus on your hands, you should be fine. Because the only thing is, you probably wouldn't want to sit here all day and do this. And that is taking a while to get through that. And this is not a massive chunk of wood either. So you can see that's about the diameter of the stuff we're working with. It got through it okay. Let's check out that edge. Yeah, edge held up pretty good. Let's do one more. I'm curious to see. And then we'll take a look at the sheath. There we go. It's biting in quite a bit if I can do my part, you know. Rotate it a little bit. Boom. And in a matter of about a minute, and that is a fairly thick chunk of wood there, and This was just chopped not too long ago, so it does still have quite a bit of water in there, so it's making that a little bit more difficult to chop. Anyways, let's check out the sheath. In terms of the sheath, it's fiberglass reinforced nylon. I'm not impressed. So you do have this like knockoff Blade Tech lock on the back, but look at this. It can rotate, what is that, like full 180? So I'm not a fan of that. Not only is it loud, just if you're hiking with it and it moves, like I don't see a way to lock it in. Maybe there is and I'm just not seeing it. You do also have a ferrous rod or ferro rod. And apparently, supposedly, you're supposed to be able to put it on this guy here. Okay, so it does throw sparks. Mosquitoes in the eye. It's getting that time of year for the mosquitoes. Okay, ferro rod isn't a gimmick. It actually does its thing. There's nothing worse than a knife coming with the ferro rod and it doesn't work. The micarta on the handle, pretty grippy. It's humid out here today. I'm sweating a little bit. I didn't notice it wanted to fly out of my hand at all. I was pleasantly surprised with that. They executed the lanyard loop well. I can see how someone might have an issue with a hot spot in regards to just the geometry of that. Now, handle scales, so the micarta ones are bolted on here with looks like Torx heads. Don't know what size that is. Might be a Torx security bit. Anyways, so you can take those off, do your own custom thing if you want. You do have lashing options here. It is right hand only. It doesn't go all the way around to do lefty. I tried, I am a lefty, so I'd have to carry this kind of scout style or whatever, just be kind of a try hard with it. But it works. It does come with this little ropey thing. Cool. I'm probably just gonna throw some Blaze Orange paracord and 550 on there and see how it works. Let's head inside. I'll run in some of the exact specs for you and the price and competitive options and all that good nonsense. Stay tuned. Alrighty, welcome back inside, folks. So your knife is going to come in that box there. Now, I was surprised to see that Walmart is the one who's primarily carrying these. I believe you can get them online too at walmart.com or some other places, maybe even on Amazon. I'm not 100% sure. Something that kind of disappointed me, you get this cheesy little sticker on the bottom, designed and developed in the USA, but if you look closer, it is made in the land of China, which I'm not a fan of. If I can purchase an American-made knife, a Mexican-made knife, a Japanese-made knife, a Canadian-made knife, anything but a Chinese-made knife, just a personal thing, I'm not a big fan of that. So it does give you the specs right there. I'm going to read through them real quick for you. Blade steel, so you've got AUS 8, which is in the D2 family. It's it's a less premium steel than D2. However, it's still in the D2 family, if that makes any sense. They don't give a HRC, I don't believe, unless I'm just missing it. You've got the titanium coated blade finish. That's kind of what we were seeing with this. It's just some type of finish. It's almost like a stone washed, I would say, like a gunmetal gray. It's cool looking. You do have kind of a little bit of swedging right there coming down on the tip of that drop point. I'm a fan. I would say the edge geometry is not conducive for woodworking, which sucks because I was hoping this would be a really good woodworking knife. Now, just for like a general utility camp knife, belt knife, I think it would fare okay in that. Not great, but I think it would fare okay. I'm a big fan of the color scheme. I think like the stone wash, gunmetal gray, titanium gray, whatever the hell they call it, with the green micarta, that's a vibe. Especially with the red highlight there. If they would have done the entire internals there all red, that would have been even cooler. However, you can't get what you want all the time in all aspects. Let's see. Canvas micarta, we talked about that. So the sheath is fiberglass reinforced nylon, so that's like a cheapo depot. Would I love to have seen like a leather or a polymer, just like straight polymer? Yeah, more of like a taco style design, something that was a little bit more conducive for the size range as well as carrying. So a knife like this, I'm not looking to cut down trees with this. I'm looking to have this as a companion blade, something to wear on my hip at all times when I'm out on an adventure, hike, overnight camping trip, whatever. I'm typically going to have a hatchet or a full-size axe with me, so making this my main end-all be-all chopperino is not what's going to happen. It is weight-wise, it's 6.5. Now, it is very heavy in the handle. The blade's not that heavy, so take that as you will. Maybe that's why it's not super good of a chopper. I mean, you are able to get a decent wrist flick action, but it's like most of that momentum feels like it's just coming right here to where the edge starts. It doesn't feel like I'm getting too much of that energy up here on the edge where it really matters. Just, that's my mileage. Let's see here. Talking about, premium hard sheath. I don't know about premium. You do get a limited lifetime warranty. That's who you contact for all that. Walmart has these, which surprised the hell out of me. They do have a bunch of other ones. I'm not going to sit here and spend hundreds of dollars on Swiss Tech knives made in China. I figured I'd get one that I thought was interesting and test it out for you guys. Like I said, knife weight is 6.15 ounces. Overall length of the blade itself is 8.75 inches, so from tip to butt, 8.75 inches, and the blade length is 4.5, which is good, which you're probably getting closer to like 4.25 cutting edge with that little ricasso there, or choil, whatever the heck you want to call it. But yeah, AUSA, now it comes in right at 40 bucks. At least that's what I paid for it. Do I think it's worth that? In terms of what they're advertising it for, to be like an outdoors knife, no, I don't think so. It's really heavy. The sheath isn't that great. The edge geometry is lackluster at best. For between $15 and $20, I can get a Mora, which is like the creme de la creme of bushcraft knives. You've got polymer handle. Yeah, it's a rat tail tang. However, I've beat one of these. This is actually the one I beat to hell and back. You got that Scandi grind, and it's going to outperform this almost in every way. I would say this one is probably going to outperform it in the chopping aspect and maybe the general utility in terms of like food prep or just various tasks that maybe a Scandi isn't so great at. Your whatever kind of grind that is going to do better. When you're getting into the $40 price point, you're able to look into stuff that a lot of the Taiwanese and Japanese steal. I know the Flissa D2 survival knife that we reviewed last year came in just at like 35 bucks and outperformed this in almost every single way. In terms of the blade, finish, type of steel, lanyard hole, sheath, all that good stuff. So I think if they come out with a 2.0 version of these or a round 2 or they revisit, they need to work on that edge geometry. I think if you're going to have a dedicated woods knife, something that's not going to be doing as much food prep or stuff like that, a Scandi grind. That or a full flat. Hollow grind would be good too. But yeah, that's my mileage. I'm not the biggest fan, rather. I think they could have executed this way better. Would I buy it again? If this was just going to be like something I throw in the backpack to have as a camp knife, there are so many better options out there for the price point. But hey, if this is something you're into, I think it's a cool look. If this fits your needs, sure. It's got a limited lifetime warranty. It's easy to acquire. Say I lose this on a hike. Oh man, where am I going to find another Swiss Tech Stahlern? Down at the local Walmart. So that is, that's a plus for it in my book, that it's readily available. So if I lose this, I can go pick up another one. Probably won't, but anyways, that's enough of me rambling on. I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and please have a fantastic day.